Welcome to the first day of digital learning for English. This is basically going to be kind of like the first day of class that we had way back in the fall, but we're just going to be going over how digital instruction is going to happen. One thing I want you to know is that even though it is going to be quite different, the shape of the lessons and kind of how we interact will largely remain the same. I'm always going to have some kind of lesson for you. It's usually going to be in the form of one of these videos from the PowerPoint, just kind of like class. You're always going to have some kind of practice. And then finally, you and I are going to have a way of getting in touch with each other, whether that means I'm commenting on your work or that means we're emailing back and forth or using the G chat feature, which I think will actually be really helpful for us. So let me tell you what it's going to look like. What we'll cover today is how you'll access lessons and assignments while school is canceled, how you can get in touch with me, and this will be for feedback and also be for any questions or concerns you have. And then I want to be sure that I'm very clear about when assignments will post and when they'll be due for you. So, class schedule. All learning is going to be asynchronous from now on. So, that's a word that's been getting tossed around a lot. All that means is that I'm going to continue posting content and assignments at the same time we would normally have class, but you don't need to complete it at that time. If you do complete it at that time, that's terrific. If you complete it later in the day or in the evening, that is fine too. So here's an example schedule for you. It's only 3 days. Obviously, we're going to be gone longer for that, but you'll notice they're all the days that we would meet, day ones. So you'll be watching this lesson sometime during the day on Thursday, March 19th, which is tomorrow. It will be posted at 8:30, so that's when you'll have access to it. Truthfully, it'll probably usually be posted a little bit earlier, but you'll always be able to guarantee that you can access the lesson 8:30 and onward. When we come back for spring break, and there'll be no lessons or instruction over spring break, the first time I'll post something is going to be Monday, March 30th, because that's the day one. And then the next time that week will be Wednesday, April 1st, also the day one. So basically, we're just following the day one, day two schedule. That's when all the lessons will be available to you, but you'll have until the next class period to complete all the assignments. So, for example, if we looked at Monday, March 30th, I'm going to have a lesson, some practice, some kind of an assessment, a short piece of writing, a quiz, something like that. All that will be due on Wednesday, April 1st, by the time we have our next class. The other thing I want to make sure I showed you guys was my office hours. These are kind of air quotes office hours. So I'm going to be available and actively checking my email during our normal class times, so 8:30 to 10 o'clock on day ones, and also between 1 and 2. If those times don't work for whatever reason, email me and I can find a time that will work. I'll definitely be flexible with you here. Office hours, just to be really clear about the purpose, they're not required, but they're kind of like that instructional study hall, or if you're working your way through an assignment and you're like, I just don't get this, that would be a time to reach out during my office hours or just reach out in general. And I am definitely here to help you through all those things. So there's two ways to get in touch with me. The first one is email, which we've used this year. The second one is Google Chat. Let me show you the Google Chat feature. And I kind of went back and forth on Google Chat, but I've come around and I think that it might be a good thing for us, and I'll tell you why. So Google Chat is basically just like text messaging, and if you open your email, at the very bottom, there's going to be this little plus right down here. This is the chat feature under this bar. Okay, so if I click the plus, I can chat with someone. So I'm going to pick my friend, Miss Breinig. So I would just start typing her name. You would type my name, VAN, and then she's going to pop up. And at that point, right down here, I can send a message. I'm not actually going to send a message, but I can send any message I want to her, and it'll pop up. The reason I think Google Chat might be, in some situations, better than email is because it's a dialogue. It's back and forth. So you can ask a question, I can answer it. You can ask a follow-up, I can answer it. For some things, really straightforward questions or clarifiers, I think email would be really good. The Google Chat might be really, really helpful if you anticipate that there's going to be a little bit of back and forth. So one of your assignments today is going to be to send me a Google Chat message. So, like I said, you would press that plus and you would send me a message. Today, the question or the what you guys are going to message about is that you saw this recording and you're also going to let me know if you have any questions about it. Okay, that's going to do two things. First of all, I'll know you have questions. Second of all, we'll have an open dialogue that we can use if you have any questions later on, and I'll know you can use the GChat. Okay, so moving on, we've done office hours. Here are some answers to questions I anticipate you might have. Number one, are we still preparing for the AP exam? I'm operating on the assumption that we will still have the AP exam on March 13th. I don't have a crystal ball. I know things are very much in flux, and I know that this thing is likely to last longer than we anticipated. But we are all still going to be preparing for that AP exam. The last I heard, there's going to be an update on the 20th from the AP, and they're right now thinking about remote testing, all sorts of scenarios. So we'll know more later on this week. What if I don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing? Please reach out. I am absolutely here for you guys to answer any questions. I want this to be as clear as possible. I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible. But if you're unclear, please let me know. Number three, what if I have to watch my siblings or have any other duties during the school day that's going to make things hard? Once again, please reach out. I will 100% be flexible. I understand that things are very different. I understand that responsibilities at home or any kind of stress that this is causing might make things different than they normally would be. Let me know and we'll work something out. Finally, will still be grades. Yes, there will still be grades. I will be grading the practices and assessments that you guys do every day. I will be flexible with due dates, but I would just caution us all to not let work stack up because the work will eventually wind up in the grade book. And so if you're not doing it on those day ones, it'll just turn into a mountain of work. With all this, I guess the underlying theme of this whole presentation is please reach out. I will be in contact with you. Please be in contact with me if you have any questions. So here are the assignments for today. First, watch this video, what you're doing right now. And when you're done watching this video, I want you to send me a Google chat. So you're going to go into your Gmail. And I would do your school Gmail because your school Gmail, if you type in VANN, Van with two N's, it'll auto-populate my name. If you don't, well, you could just type in my full email address. It'll just be much easier from your school email. But I want you to send me a Google Chat message saying that you watched this video and letting me know if you have any questions. Finally, you're going to read an article that I posted on Canvas and complete an analysis activity. And the article will look a little bit similar because we read a portion of this article in one of our multiple choice practices. So those are the two assignments for today or for Thursday, March 19th. And let's get into Canvas and I'll show you guys what it looks like. If I can navigate into Canvas, there we go. So here's our Canvas page. I want to show you guys a couple of things. First thing I want to show you is there is a new module way at the top called Week at a Glance. And this is a good thing for you guys to look here. If you click on this, it's going to open out to a Google Doc. And the Google Doc's going to have a couple of critical pieces of information. One, it'll remind you of my office hours and how I'm available. The next thing is it will have a lesson overview. So what we're going to be doing today. For instance, I'll understand how this classroom runs remotely. I'll understand how to get instruction, how to receive feedback, and how to get in touch with my teacher. It'll give you any due dates you need, and it'll tell you all the assessments. So basically, it's going to be, in this case, it's a day at a glance because we only have one day this week. But in later weeks, it'll be a week at a glance. So, like I said, this is going to be a good document for you to take a look at first, so just so you have like an overview and outline of what you're supposed to do each day. And I'll go back into modules and I'll show you what you got to do today. Okay, so I'm still making this video, but the video will post under Thursday, March 19th, as soon as I'm done making it. And this is what you guys have to do today. You have to read this article, Positive Obsession. Okay, I anticipate this will take you about 20 minutes to do total. So once you open it up, it's going to look like this, okay? And you're going to put it into Notability, okay? And let me actually get out to the PDF version so I can show you. So what I did was I want you guys still thinking about line of reasoning. So the building blocks of an argument, beginning, developing, and towards the end. So I broke the article into 3 parts. Here's the end of part 1 right here. Here's the end of part 2 right here. And here's the end of part 3. When you guys are done, here's the directions here. And this will be in Notability, so you can either type on this or write on this. Okay? You need to complete an analysis. So what you're going to do is you're going to write a sentence explaining the author's claim. So what's the overview message? Like what's the big thing of the essay? That'll go right here. And then for each of the parts where I wrote those red lines, I want you to say, how does that contribute to the line of reasoning? So how does part 1 set up the author's ideas? You'd write that right down here. How does part 2 continue our ideas or develop the ideas? And then how does part 3 kind of bring it all together? So the purpose here is reading the essay, but it's also thinking about the essay in terms of a progression, a line of reasoning. Okay? When you're done with that, you're going to submit this through Canvas. So those are the 2 assignments for today, you guys. You have to Google chat me and let me know that you watched this presentation if you have any questions. And then you have to complete this positive obsession essay. So read the essay and then basically fill in the 4 questions. Okay? Besides that, I hope everyone has a really good spring break. I hope you guys are all hanging in there. And I will be in touch. Have a great day.